Pokemon cards, Pokemon cards, Pokemon cards. I'm told if you say this enough times, a wild crowd will appear. And last time the stream didn't start right away, so my first few words got cut off. So figured I would test out the microphone here. Oh, wait a second. It hasn't arrived yet from Amazon, so that's not working. But hello and welcome to another episode of Matty Allen Live. We're coming to you with breaking news today, as always. GameStop stopped, and this has exposed parts of the financial system that I guess some people still believed in. But we're going to explore how that's been going down today. There's a lot of breaking news. And of course, this relates to crypto, because if you're out there and you're one of the 3.5 million people who are following this subreddit of Wall Street Bets, or you're one of these people out there who's following the chairman of Wall Street Bets on Twitter, by the way, he tweeted today and said something like, oh, I wonder if Dogecoin has ever gone beyond $1, right? And that has special significance, right? Because Dogecoin is a crypto that can't be shut down. And what's more is that it's a meme. This is Occupy Wall Street 2.0. You heard it here first, right? And that's a movement that did not last hours, and it did not last days. But in fact, Occupy Wall Street lasted months and months and months. People were physically camped out in front of these big banks, right, in New York and even in other places around the country. There was Occupy this and Occupy that. Well, guess what? Now it's time to occupy Robinhood by getting off Robinhood and getting onto some decentralized exchanges. Some exchanges like Uniswap or 1inch that don't have an off button, right? Because look what happened today, right? Yours truly got on Robinhood so I could check my $3 investment in GameStop, right? Got skin in the game, but all my money is being better deployed in HEX right now. So I figured I could scrape together some loose change and let it ride. And sure enough, I came across a warning, and that became the thumbnail for today's show. It said, warning, warning, we'll let you sell this, $3 of GameStop stonk, but you're not allowed to buy it back. We're disabling the buy button, right? And Richard has picked up on this. He's been tweeting all day about Wall Street Bets. And why are people talking about this in crypto? Well, it's because all these investors who are rattling the foundations of the stock market, they're kicking the tires and seeing what's what, right? They're exposing the corruption in the system. And you've got people like AOC and Elizabeth Warren and all these other politicians, they're tweeting a storm, right? Trying to pretend like they're going to do something about this, right? And what are they going to do? This is how they buy their votes, is by bowing down to Wall Street. And so don't wait for them to come save you. You got to save yourself. And the best way to do that is going to be to get into something without an off switch, right? And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. It blows my mind that Robinhood, it took away the buy button. I mean, AOC said, this is a criminal act and they're going to get in trouble for it, right? And there have been other trading houses that are stopping markets from acting. They're stopping people from being able to buy. The government is saying, oh no, this is manipulation, right? When a bunch of people get together and say, I want to buy something, right? that is the silliest thing we've ever heard. And, you know, as long as we're pretending like there's free speech, the government's going to have a problem when it comes to people getting together and acting, right? This is democracy 3.0, right? This is Occupy 3.0, right? And so, you know, I'm just going to call it now, and let's not get it twisted, right? All these people, they're going to move into Dogecoin. Dogecoin is going to pump super hard, and then they're going to do their research, right? Occupy Wall Street did not just happen over a 48-hour period. It was not one news cycle. It was a news season, right? Or 2 or 3. And so now it's back, right? And it's better than ever. It's been reloaded. It's like all your favorite shows that have been reloaded, except now it's got better characters instead of worse characters, right? And so the point I'm getting at is we have a lot to look forward to in HEX, because HEX is the best designed cryptocurrency, and it's got the strongest community, and we've got all kinds of memes already. Abit, shout out to Abit. He has been crushing it for months, like since HEX was launched. He's been making beautiful memes. I chose to feature and give credit to him for part of the thumbnail art that we used for this one, because he's got, you know, instead of a Charizard card, he's got a Pokemon card that features HEX on it, right? And that's exactly the kind of thing that's going to draw people in. You know, not only you have the best logo ever, but it's sitting inside of a Pokemon card. All right, let's go. Like, you know, get your FOMO pants on, you know, fire up the rockets, Elon. Like, let's do it, right? So, yeah, the prediction is pretty simple, right? And already breaking news today, Dogecoin is up 200%, right? It's up 200% because of one tweet from the Wall Street Bets WSB chairman. And there's even like a fake chairman that's got like 70K followers on Twitter, and is saying like, oh, I'm not pretending, but I am, right? Which is a thing you would say on Twitter. And so if any of you like want to change your name to Wall Street Bets chairman, I bet you'll get like the most followers out of anybody in HEX. But, you know, not Twitter advice, right? Like we always say, not financial advice, but let's just like, you know, let's just get the advice out of the way, right? But I thought it was fascinating today, and I tweeted about it, but it, you know, nobody sees tweets when it's the algorithm saturated. Everybody's already talking about Wall Street Bets, but that's why we do these live streams, and that's why people tune in who care, and we love our community. I was blown away. This Wall Street Bets leader got surpassed Andreas Antonopoulos in followers, like as I was watching, as I was like switching between their accounts. He passed 543. It was 543K subs, and so that was hilarious. And you know, is already tweeting about Dogecoin. So the people who come into crypto later, it turns out we don't need to convince any more people inside of crypto to buy HEX. I mean, we don't. I mean, HEX is going to sell itself, but you know, as it turns out, people are going to come in and they're not going to mess around in all these other coins. You know, if you think people are going to pile into Dogecoin, just wait until they pile into HEX, because that's the cool thing about not being a super early adopter is you could just follow what everybody else already figured out. And you know, here we have a community that has been thriving and has been perfecting, building an army, and finding more and more ways to explain what HEX is, to have short elevator pitches and long 24-hour streams and everything in between, right? And you know, that's exciting, right? It's exciting to be in the chat. You know, I was saying the other day that I know people who are like scared of chats, because normally people are streaming and they have terrible chats. Like there are people, just spamming hate speech, and in HEX we got such a good community. We have enough people to show up for the game, to get rid of all the people who are going to be spitting hate speech. I mean, people still have fun. People still rip on each other. It's a nuanced thing to be a moderator, and so that's why it's so cool that we have so many people volunteering to keep our chat special. And so, just get ready. Just get ready for the influx of people that's coming, because they're coming. And it's like Kinetics or Papa Boner said earlier today on the morning stream. They're like worried for you. That you're going to have such a sudden wealth syndrome, that you're not going to be able to handle it. So, that's rich people problems, right? So, keep up the good work, and let's see. So let's go ahead and check in the comments here. We got Joe Hexotic. What's going on? Kevin, that was a great article. I think you've had a couple of Medium articles that have really impressed me, and a lot of people who do some cool stuff. And then we got a bunch of dogs checking in the chat. We got one dog here. I'm not sure all the different breeds of dogs, but that's definitely a dog and not a cat. We got this dog here that is also definitely a dog. And Marcin, how's it going? Steak My Day, Old Man Hex, Crypto King, what's going on? David Morales. We got Korean Investor, Del Hex. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to give a special shout out, a note of it here, to Lovin Hex. Lovin Hex dropped 10,000 bits last night on the stream, and I didn't catch it when I was live. So I wanted to do a special shout out to Lovin Hex. You rock! Like, thank you so much. The more that this channel is able to grow and get donations, then we're able to give back to the community and do more and more for everybody. So awesome stuff. So now I know you're here because you have heard good things about HEX, and because you want to understand what's going on in the legacy financial markets, the fiat markets that are olden and broken and no good. So I got a couple articles that were emailed to me today by Robinhood, right? Like the guys that did the $3 GameStop trade with me. They're always up to no good. So I just thought it'd be interesting to share this little bit of information that I assume that they sent this out to pretty much half of the people who are on the platform, because half of the people who are on Robinhood bought GME stock. Like, that blew me away. This is the entire market synchronizing as a part of retail investors, and it's certainly making history in a sense that we've never been in such a cycle of money printing, right? And we've never been in a cycle of so much information existing for people to be able to synchronize their actions and to try to take out hedge funds that are no good. And so I'm not going to say that there's too much here that we really need to know. But of course, just the fact that they are trying to explain, what is volatility, right? Like, is this your response? Like, you're all going to prison for a long ass time because you're turning off the buy button, and you're ruining people's lives, like, in the sense that, what are you doing? Like, you're just protecting hedge funds. You're all right, so let's take the opposite opinion though, right? Like let's consider, all right, so is there some sort of benefit to society to take away the buy button? I mean, see, this is why I wasn't on the debate team, because like I'm not just gonna bullshit and tell you that there's some reason, right, that you should take the buy button away from people. Maybe a bunch of people got wrecked, right, because they bought GameStop, I don't know, at $350, and they put their life savings into it, and then it dropped down, right? And then it dropped down to 150. They panic sold, and then those strong hands went higher and higher, right? Well, you could say that that's an expensive mistake, or you could say that it's cheap tuition, because the lesson that you learned there, if you want to reflect and like grow from this experience, is that you should have held. But you also need to invest in things that are really designed fairly. And there's nothing on Wall Street that's designed fairly. This is, at best, you're basically funding a big middle finger to Wall Street. At the same time, you're basically funding Wall Street, because they're always going to be able to front run you. They're always going to be able to make like bot trades, knowing exactly what you're buying and then selling it to you at a higher price. Like all that stuff is legal. Like, and then there's illegal stuff happening too. Apparently with naked shorts, Melvin Capital, different hedge funds like fighting with each other. So all you're really doing is playing into their hands, unless you take this as a lesson, right? And people who are doing well, people who are getting wrecked in GameStop, right? Like, I'm glad you got to buy a bunch of PS5s. Like, that's great for now. But what are you trying to do? Get addicted to gaming, right? Or are you trying to learn your lesson and get into HEX, right? Because if, let's see, if $5 million went into HEX, it would 100x the price. And then what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of people who lock up their money and then they don't screw it up for themselves, right? Like we saw today with GameStop, with the wild volatility going around, right? There are people who are buying the top and selling the bottom, and buying the top and selling the bottom, and losing all their money. Gosh, I wish there was a financial technology that was invented that could help people protect themselves. Oh, wait a second. Like, oh, here it is. Like, HEX, check it out. Like, hex.com, $hex.com. It's my referral link for StakeWrap. Get yourself a smart wallet. It contains technology that will secure your crypto in ways that haven't even been implemented yet, but in ways that will allow you to stake for the long term and then be able to protect your wallet in the future by doing multi-signatures and other things that can be enabled after the fact securely, right? It's a game changer. And whenever you want to see, like, whenever you want to tell what the best product is, what the best platform and the best product and the best money is on the market, you can look to see where the innovation goes, right? And HEX, that's where the innovation goes, right? There's no other community that's come up so strong, that has such a strong social media presence, that has such strong technology being integrated inside of it, that popularized decentralized applications that are also exchanges such as Uniswap and 1inch. I don't want you guys cucking all of the gains that's happening on Uniswap and 1inch. Like, you know what that is? Like, all right, here's a lesson. Look at so there's the circulating supply, and then there's the total supply that can be printed, right? And if you're out there in one of those exchange coins, sure, like it looks nice when it's pumping, when it's doubling, or going up 5x or something. But like, remember, we are in a bull market, right? And so there is going to be tons of activity to fuck you up, to give you fun, to make you FOMO into other projects. Like, there's no reason to leave the project that you're in because you're already in the one that is the end game for crypto, right? And so you need to. Here's the thing I wish I would have paid more attention to when I got into HEX. I wish I would have acted more on how much I believed in Richard, right? And then even afterwards, right? Like after I already believed in HEX and I already believed in Richard and I already believed in the community, like you will feel really, really stupid if you're playing around with these other coins and then, you know, you miss the greatest thing ever. You don't want to be picking up pennies in front of freight trains, you know, like wait for the penny to get smashed. And then like, now it's a cool collectible, but like, you know, stop trying to pick up $100 bills in front of freight trains. Like literally the HEX is designed to do what Bitcoin did, more or less, and go up 4 million X. Like stop being that person who sold Bitcoin at 30 cents, who sold Bitcoin to Richard at $30. Like, you know, we will drink your tears for years to come. Like that's fine. You know, like no sympathy, right? Like no sympathy for people who are going back into Uniswap, who are going back into 1inch after you already sold. Like, what do you want to do? You want to buy it when it's high and sell it when it's low? Like, there are centralized entities in those coins, and they are, you know, getting ready to pump and dump on you, right? Sure, I mean, you know, it's true that exchanges are one of the things that makes money in crypto. But remember, crypto makes money in crypto the most out of anything. Like just buying and holding. And that's where the hodl, right? Like Hodor, like hexcameo.com, hexvids, you know, like all these things. Like that's where it comes from because there has to be an ethos in the community. You have to, when you're feeling weak, you have to go to somebody who's feeling strong, right? And then that's how you get through those market emotions. That's how you get through that cycle. If you need something to do, don't let it be trading, right? Like if you need something to do, why don't you go ahead and make some content, right? Or curate, make clips, right? Like talk to somebody in your personal life about HEX, right? Be out there like Crypto King, you know, like recruiting all these people with a huge following to be out here, right? Like look at anybody in the community who's staying busy doing things other than trading, doing things other than being a degenerate, right? Like HEX is the place where you bring all the degenerates and then you make them like not degenerates anymore, right? Like, all right, you can still be a degenerate a little bit if you're in like, you know, the pirate motif or something, but like, don't be degenerate with your finances. Like, I mean, I don't know. Not financial advice, like not, but you know, at some point you have to give, you know, personality advice to people. I feel like, you know, this is, you know, as your wellness and your future at some point, right? You have to draw a line and say, you know, this is your finances. This is your financial energy. This is what you've worked for, right? And so don't squander it. Don't pick up $100 bills in front of freight trains. You know, you're just going to get wrecked. Great point. Time deposit. Nardo for the win. Darwin. Selection of the fittest. Robinhood is a scam. Heck yeah. You got a 555. Yo shit. And that means locking it up for 15.2 years so that you get to get the maximum win. HEX therapy. So we're going live later for HEX therapy. And I know there's, you know, these days there's multiple streams going on. And, you know, we apologize when we overlap with people. We think that it's really best just to do your stream. And, you know, even people who are streaming, like, we want to see your content, the other streamers. So we're gonna watch it on the replay. You know, we're gonna find a way to give back, and you know, there's got to be competition in a free market. Healthy competition is healthy, right? And you know, with the influx of people coming, we all need as much practice as possible, right? Like streaming, because all of a sudden, you know, instead of 100 or 500 viewers at a time, we're gonna be having many, many thousands, right? Maybe even more than that, right? Because HEX is so addictive. It's got speculative stickiness. It's got life-changing properties, right? And so just wait until HEX makes millions of people rich, and now they're working just for their mental health, and they're not working for their paycheck, right? And they're getting trustless interest. They're getting 40% APY, 3% APY. You know, they're getting mad gains, right? Price appreciation. You know, people are, I mean, productivity is going to soar. People are going to have more time. They're going to have more time to watch HEX streams, and that'll bring the masses. Thank you to Milo. And yeah, everybody, please subscribe. Help get me to 1,000 viewers. Well, 1,000 viewers plus 1,000 subscribers would be even better, because then we'll be able to turn on the super chat, and that'll up us in the rankings with YouTube. YouTube likes to make a pretty penny, just like anybody. Yeah, let's see what else. Let's make a HEX offenders registry. I agree. Yeah, we got to get all the bad people out of HEX. Boom, Hexarican. Okay. Oh, I should be looking all over these different chats. There's so many chats. And it's just going to get bigger, you know, when we expand to more platforms. I mean, whichever platform is the biggest is going to win. Wherever, I mean, Hexicans, they're going to, or Hexagans, a less racially loaded term that has been used recently, you know, like that might catch on. And whatever you want to call us, I'm sure we've been called worse, but, you know, we're going to go where each other are. And so, you know, at first, I'll admit it, when Hexa went to Twitch, I was like hanging on to DLive for dear life. Like, oh no, I don't want to change. I don't want to learn something new. Like, so easy. I've already adapted to learning how to look at the chat, how to be rewarded by the DLive chat, you know? And then, but sure enough, you know, sometimes you just got to get out of your comfort zone and go with the flow. And now Twitch, I love Twitch, right? We all love Twitch. And so that's what's going to happen when we go to library, when we go to Theta, when we go to the HEX broadcasting system that only, you know, it's like its own platform, you know. There's lots of good places to stream, and there will be in the future. So, you know, buckle up your space boots and get ready. Chilling, gearing up for Hexo. That's right. Yeah, Hexo will be on very soon, and we all love him. We're going to be excited to watch him. Here he goes. So if everybody can stick around for just a minute while I hook up the host, then it'll take you right over there. And then check me out after Hexo. I'm going to be going live with Gary, and we're going to be talking about the future of HEX badges and even more. We're going to be talking about merit and ways to celebrate the HEX community more and more. It's just, it's super exciting. So Tim Allen, yes, Tim Allen, my father, he's been better, he's been worse, you know. What is there to say, really, you know, about Tim Allen, you know? Let's see here. So we're gonna play a little HEX music, and then we are gonna switch over to Hexo. Thank you all for joining me. Please like, comment, share, get those subscribers up, and we're going to keep doing it like HEX does it, up and to the right.
Username that don't ever send me money. Imposters everywhere. Richard Hart bracket. And I crush everyone that steps to me. I stomp on them. I flatten them. They're scared to even talk to me. There's a trail of bodies behind me. Bring on your heroes, bro. Watch me crush them. Bring your heroes here to die.
All right. What's up, Hexicans and my people in the digital and crypto space? My name is Corey, the investor, and I want to talk to you about how I find the most innovative crypto out in the world. It's called HEX. And here's my story.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to comment. Say heck. Say heck, 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 say heck, say heck, say heck, stake that 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 heck. Every time I look up, price went up. I go to the store, come back, price went up. Every time I look up, price went up. No matter what I do, price is still going up. Hell yeah. Ching, ching, motherfuckers. Ching, ching. I am not the book. Ching, ching.
Thanks, everybody. Switch over to Hexo now.
Let's just keep hitting jackpot after motherfucking jackpot. We still jackpot, bitch.
Right? Like for instance, is it complete when it's released? Okay, if it's not complete when it's released, well then maybe people could assume that someone's going to do some work. Maybe that's a security. HEX is not as complete. Project not complete.
Thanks, everybody.
The same thing.
And
Almost.
remember now, stake wise, my friends. I'll see you after Hexo.